Zachary Davelbus here with the fifth video in our five-part segment of the 5 reasons why you need to be hiring a criminal defense lawyer. I am the owner of Future First Criminal Law. We answer these questions all the time with free consultations. So if this sounds like something that might apply to you or a loved one or a family member or a friend, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Go to our website, futurefirst.law, because this fifth prong here is what I believe is one of the most important ones, because this actually happened to me. Before I became a lawyer, I experienced this, and I wish I would have done this before. I wish I would have known the reasons why. And that way, I try and give you the information now so you don't make the same mistakes I did. The fifth reason here is the decisions that you make will have long-term consequences during your criminal case. So much is at stake during a criminal prosecution. A knowledgeable criminal defense attorney can offer wise counsel based on experience that we have here at Future First to help you make the many strategic decisions that you will face along your case as it winds through the criminal justice process. What this means is there are a ton of decisions that you will need to make. We have the experience because we've been to court before. I've been in your shoes. I know what you're struggling with. I know what you want. And what this means even more, and what we do at Future First, is we protect not only the short-term consequences, but also the long-term consequences, the things that you're not thinking of. This is important because, yes, I know you don't want to go to jail. I know you don't want to lose your driver's license. I know you don't want to spend a bunch of money on counseling classes, and we're going to protect you from those things. We're going to try and minimize them as much as possible. But the things that you're not thinking about are the collateral consequences, the things a year, 10 years, 20 years down the road that this criminal conviction might cause. So it's very important that we work strategically with you to know what your future life and your goals and your plans are, because we might try and modify some of the cases, some of the charges, some of the punishment to look better for you down the road. It may not be the common solution that we would normally go with. This is super important because it happened to me. I got charged with false identification and false identification with my ID. If I would have hired a criminal defense lawyer for that, if I wouldn't have represented myself thinking I was just going to get it dismissed, we would have been able to change that to a different charge. Because little did I know, in 6 years after that, I was going to go to law school, I was going to graduate the top of my class, I was going to pass the bar, and the bar committee was going to come back to me and force me to explain what happened in that situation. Force me to explain why I went to jail, why I was arrested so many different times. All these things that I thought, well, look, I was caught, I accepted responsibility, I was punished, and I don't have to answer a single question about it. Well, I was wrong. I was sorely mistaken, and I don't want you to face that same kind of embarrassment, the same kind of questioning, the same kind of rationale, no matter what happens in your future life. This happens commonly in a few different other places, with family, with adoption. So you might want to get married. Well, your in-laws are going to look this up, and you don't want to have to explain that to them. You don't want to have to explain to them why you have to drive around with a breathalyzer in your car or an ankle monitor around your leg. When you're getting to the adoption stages, there's somebody who has to evaluate your life going back a ton of years. And you might not be a fit parent if there's something that your background check pulls up. This is also important when it comes to jobs, promotions, even applying to new jobs. You might not get the job over somebody else who doesn't have the criminal record on their background. You might be at your job for years and might be up for a promotion, and they might pull something up that you didn't realize they would find. We want to minimize these things so that way they don't hurt you in the long run. If you're here undocumented as a U.S. citizen and you're going through the immigration process, they're not going to want to see any of these criminal convictions on your background. Or we know the type of criminal convictions that they don't actually care about on your background. It might not be the normal thing that you or another criminal defense attorney or a public defender might be thinking about, but we here at Future First do know those things, and we want to protect you from causing harm, not in the next month or two in your case, but in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road of your life, and to make sure that way when you're done with your case, you're absolutely done, that there's nothing that you need to go back and fix and have to explain. So this fifth prong here is very, very important. We think about the long-term consequences and decisions in what we do when we solve our cases. So if this sounds like something that might apply to you, a loved one, a family member, please don't hesitate to reach out. It's very important that you hire a lawyer for this and you don't just trust yourself to do it, and you don't trust that maybe a public defender will do it who doesn't actually know these things. So please, I look forward to hearing from you. Go to our website, futurefirst.law, and I'm more than happy to speak with you. Thank you, and I hope you learned a lot through these 5 segments of why it's so important for you to hire a criminal defense lawyer.